day. I'm Charles, and I'm the chef for today. And I'm going to make old-fashioned baked beans. Aujourd'hui, je vais faire des beans à l'ancienne, des fèves au lard. Puis là, ben, tu prends ici, là, moi j'ai pris des navy beans. 900 grams of navy beans, 900 grammes de... 900 grammes? Oui, 900 grammes de beans blanches. Puis là, je les ai fait tremper. T'es fait tremper la nuit. Après ça, ben là, au moins 8 heures, hein, ouais. Puis là, les ingrédients. Là, je vais mettre ça dans le chaudron. Yeah, okay. I soaked them overnight, but you rinse them before you let them soak overnight. You cover them with water. Make sure your water is all clear when you let them soak. Now I'm going to transfer this after overnight. I'm going to transfer this to my baking pot. Okay. And then there's enlever un peu d'eau. I'll take off a bit of water. I think there's a little bit too much here. Like maybe half a cup or whatever. Okay, now I'll bring it to a boil. Je vais l'emmener à l'ébullition. Mettre sur le high. Là, en attendant que ça commence à bouillir, là, ça te prend, ici, j'ai peut-être une demi-livre de lard salé, about half a pound of salt pork. And then I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of molasses, 1 tablespoon of powdered mustard, brown sugar, une demi-tasse, ou 2/3 de tasse, or 2/3 cup of brown sugar. And then I'll add maybe 1 teaspoon of cider vinegar. Une cuillère à thé de vinaigre de cidre. Puis c'est optional. You can put liquid smoke, or you could add a smoked pork hock in it, but I don't have one right now. So you add a few drops. You don't put too much. You just put a couple of drops to give it that smoky flavor. Okay, when it starts to boil, you lower it. Oh, yeah, you lower it to let it simmer, and then you get all this froth. You just remove that. Move as much as you can. That's just to make it cleaner, I guess. I don't know. You just remove that. Make sure you skim it off, most of it off anyway. Right now I got nothing in there, just beans and water. As much as you can. On va enlever encore la broue, là, côté le plus possible. Vous le laissez mijoter, là. J'ai réchauffé le poêle at 325. I preheated the stove at the oven at 325. Okay, now I'm going to add my ingredients. Taking most of the broth off. Even if there's a little bit left, doesn't matter, it'll just go away. It'll stick to the... Take 1 tablespoon of dry mustard. Just mix that in. Add about 1/2 cup of molasses. Really. And then brown sugar, about 2/3 of a cup. Add about 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Okay. I'll add my salt pork.
There's the good stuff.
1/2 pound of salt pork. You need some fat in there to make it make good beans. And I'll take about maybe a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, or you can use a couple of tablespoons of ketchup, but me, I prefer the apple cider. And then get anything there, okay. Well, I'll stir it up a little bit. And you add just a whole onion. That way you don't get onion bits. It adds flavor. And then you can take it out after it's cooked. And okay, almost forgot. And the pork, it has to be salt pork because you need a little bit of salt in there with the sugar and all that. And then you add maybe 1 teaspoon of black pepper. On moitié de une cuillère à thé de pepper, puis une demi-livre de lard salé, 3/4 de tasse à peu près de sucre brun, puis une demi-tasse de mélasse. Puis moi j'ajoute, vu que j'ai pas un jarret de porc fumé, j'ajoute du fumé liquide. Vous ajoutez rien qu'une coupe de gouttes parce que ça goûte trop fort, mais ça donne un bon petit goût de l'eau canée. Yeah, and you add, it's up to you. You can add a pork hock, a smoked pork hock, or I don't have one, so I use the liquid smoke. And you add just a few drops, 2 drops, 3 drops. Don't put too much. Then you stir it up. Now I'm going to take it off the heat. And I preheated my oven at 325. So now I'm using a cast iron. So you have to protect it. You don't want it because it all comes black, like you get when it sweats. You get black liquid, so it's good to put foil. You put foil under the cover.
That way it protects the beans, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, from what happens is when it sweats, you got the molasses and the thing, and it gets dark in there. So this way it doesn't happen. So you put a piece of foil. And when they're cooked, or you check them, you can, or when they're cooked, you can just put a new one, because that one I'll show you anyway later. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put it in the preheated oven at 325. In the oven, and it should be in there for, it'll take maybe about 4 hours. That's what I figure, but after 2 hours, just check it. See if water didn't evaporate too much. If it evaporated too much, just add a little more water. Okay, so we're gonna wait for them to cook. Ok, là ça fait 2 heures à peu près. Que je vais checker mes bines. Là. Je vais checker si ça s'en vient bien là. Là tu prends une cuillère, autre chose, là, puis tu checkes pour là. Il y a assez de jus. You gotta check if there's enough juice in it there.
It's been a couple
Seems
hours.
okay, yeah. So everything's getting good. So I'm gonna put them back in the oven. On les en mettre en fond d'eau pour un autre coupe d'air. Au moins 2 heures. I'm gonna put them back in the oven for another couple hours. Then we'll check them then. Okay, so it's been 4 hours. And put it on the board there because I don't want to scratch this. Put this cast iron there, it's
Ooh,
okay.
look at those. Wow. Smooth.
They look pretty ready. I might add a little bit of if you're gonna stir a bit there, do it gently. See how much liquid is in here? There's to be that much liquid in left. And you can, but they look great. They probably taste great. So I'll just remove this. Just throw it out. Or you can eat it if you want. Là, les bines ont de l'air bonnes. C'est juste les brasser tranquillement. Ça a l'air parfait. Là, ben. Ouais. Bon, là, ils ont de l'air belles. Anyway, ils devraient être parfaites. Le Charles aussi, I hope les essayer. Charles can't wait to taste them.
I haven't like the piece of that salty pork fat there, a little bit of beans. Magnifique. Parfait.
So when you're baking beans, or when you're getting them ready, you can also just soak them for about 4 hours, and then you bring them to the simmer for about half an hour. And when you bring them to the simmer, that's when you skim all the froth off. So les bines et tout là, pour vous de les mettre toute la nuit à soaker, à tremper, parce que vous pouvez les faire tremper pour à peu près 4 heures. Moi je fais ça de même, souvent. Puis tu les fais bouillir à peu près une demi-heure. T'ôtes la broue, le plus de broue que vous pouvez. Après ça, Fait juste ajouter les ingrédients puis le mettre dans les fourneaux à 325. Puis mettre juste pour que l'eau est couverte, au moins 1,5 pouce. Après ça, le checker après tous les 2 heures. Si l'eau, s'il reste encore assez d'eau dedans, ben laissez-les de même. Après ça, ben au bout d'une autre 2 heures, ben là tu le check. Puis là, s'ils sont bien cuits, ben c'est bon. OK. Enjoy.